This week on Nation's Business, we look at how one of government's key development programs has improved the lives of ordinary citizens in the Northern Division. It's a topic widely discussed but rarely understood. For many, the Look North policy represents government's ambitious position on how and why the Northern Division needs to lift its game. But for the average Fijian here, it's more about giving them an opportunity to improve their lives through commercial activities, which is expected to boost the northern economy. In order to develop the northern economy, infrastructural and commercial activities need to be implemented. The upgrading and sealing of both national and municipal roads speaks volumes, which when completed will help improve basic standards for all living and doing business in Vanuatu. The bauxite mining in Wailevubua, the recent opening, operation and shipments from the Wairiki chip mill, and the announcement to begin the Draketi-Nambuawalu highway this year will be a huge socio-economic boost in Bua and Vanuatu. Part of the Look North policy focuses on the Northern Development Program, or NDP, a project that started in 2007, targeted at encouraging the growth of small micro-enterprise businesses. For farmers like Kesh Lal, giving him access to a market for his produce is important. As a recipient of government's Northern Development Program, Lal was able to secure farming equipment to boost his business and at the same time increase his revenue. He was assisted with a boom sprayer, a machine that is mostly used in China, which minimizes the hiring of laborers and, most importantly, saves a lot of time.
Yeah, it's very helpful. It's very good that government has opened this department for the farmers and other farmers, not for the cane farmers, even rice, even piggery farming, all kinds of farming, even fisheries, all kinds of farming they're giving the assistance. That's very good, something poor people can benefit out of that.
Lal is planning on further assistance from NDP for a rice harvester, rather than relying on hiring the machine from an overseas company in Draketi, and this he believes will make his work much easier and faster. Lal says the money used for his laborers can now be used on other means, like buying new machines to cultivate his farm. For a province with 105 villages, more than 300 settlements, and a population of approximately 70,000, Mavuata is optimistic that developments taking place will not only be an investment for the province, but for the country as a whole.
And for us in the north, it all goes well because, as you know, the Look North policy is in fruition now. It's walking the talk. The 400 million plus allocation for the road, to me, that is a bonus to the way forward for us. It will really uplift the structure. For us, the markets, the commodities are here. But to reach them and how they can get it from point A to point B, that is a matter which we feel has been addressed by this massive amount of giving it to the relevant institution to look after the infrastructure.
While the northern economy has untapped potential for socio-economic growth, the argument, of course, is that those living in the Northern Division need to drive this potential.
We would like to see that activities are being done where people out there would drive the rural market. In that way, people out there in our communities, once they come through or work through that value chain, they will obviously create jobs for themselves. And once that business grows, they will then pay tax to government.
With 1,582 resource-based business projects in the division since it began 5 years ago, the Northern Development Project has improved the lives of 23,730 rural dwellers in the Northern Division through its trickle-down effect. It has also provided employment opportunities for an additional 4,736 individuals in the informal sector.
So in the last 5 years, that was the story. We have funded 1,582 projects worth $9.8 million. Most of these projects are agro-based, resource-based projects. We funded about 500 Ndalo and Yangona farms in the north, about 300 plus fishing projects, cane farming. We support cane farming, about 300 projects.
And for government, the idea that creating small or micro-enterprise opportunities is a key component to economic growth. It's something that the Prime Minister is adamant will create opportunities not only for the Northern Division, but the entire country.
Experts around the world have recognized that micro, small and medium enterprises are powerful forces for lifting people out of poverty. Small businesses drive economies because they add to growth by creating jobs and generating revenue. And they do not always remain small. Many grow quickly to become medium and big businesses.
While government continues to focus on developing basic infrastructure in Vanuatu, it's now moving its gaze towards strengthening agricultural-based activities in the north. For farmers like Vijendra Singh, his only form of income was through a small cattle farm, which has now grown since it began in 1985. Through an injection of $13,000 from government, the Bua farmer, who has been living in Bua for the past 30 years, is now a regular supplier for meat to major stores around the country.
Nabiti sabia que tu lakoto somedak. Me kakede mera wakakotar man overseas na meat na kakede.
For Singh, his cattle farming doesn't stop there. In order to meet supply and demand in the north, he is now producing dairy products for nearby communities and merchants.
Reo Dairy wants 80 million liters of milk. The farmers in Viti Levu only produce 10 million liters, so 70 million liters is the gap. And this is what we want to develop here in the north, if we can encourage small dairy farms.
Singh also has 235 acres of land and has divided his land for sheep rearing as well, which has also made him the first farmer in Vanuatu chosen with a new breed of sheep called Fiji Fantastic. Another individual Nation Business met up with is 47-year-old Mohammed Hassan, a poultry farmer of Vunimoli in Lambasa. Hassan received assistance of $4,500 from NDP and built a shed beginning with just 600 chicks. Hassan receives customers daily and he sells chickens at $20 per head. He sells 300 batches and earns $6,000 from it.
I've already sold, first lot was 600 chicks, second was 300, third was 300, fourth was 100, and the fifth is 300, and the small ones is 300 again.
Hassan is very grateful for the assistance given, and he plans to extend his business and go into a bigger scale production as demand continues to rise.
For this, I thank the government of the day for what they are doing for the people of the north.
Meet Micah Ravudi, originally from Dawasamu in Tailevu, who bought a boat under the program to start a small business. Ravudi used the boat for fishing and diving, but today he has retired from that and uses his boat as a water taxi to transport people for diving or fishing. The money earned is used to meet his family's immediate needs.
Nabi atau o na lotu na atau o ya he to so bina no gusto sa mi ela ba bina o na tu sa yo me usana sa mo tu na area talento talabi talme me to talabi o sa na no mo tu o ya siya me to talang wang ka me anisyo me usana sa lewa o me antabai.
Maduata is a rich marine resources area, so 80% of the fish sold in Suva are fish from Vanuatu. And I'm proud to say that Vanuatu fish is now being sold in the supermarkets in the US. So that's how this program helped fishermen, and that's starting to export.
Nation's Business traveled to Tambia to meet up with 26-year-old Merisimani Tinai Korisi of Tambia, who owns a goat farm consisting of more than 80 goats. Merisimani and her husband, Harry Fong Toi, sought assistance from the Northern Development Program and was given $6,000. She also took out a loan for another $6,000 from FDB, and her investment to the business was $1,600.
Actually, when we came here, we had the interest of going into livestock farming. Then we started off very poor, and we started off with root crops, bananas, ndalo, and all those stuffs, and we started selling. And eventually we went down to NDP. It took us a few months to get it approved by NDP, and well, as you can see at the background here, this is the fruit of hard work.
Mirisimani, who is also supported by her husband, asked landowners to lease 175 acres of land to enable her to start her business. Despite the challenges faced by the couple, they are thankful to NDP for the assistance given and are reaping the rewards.
Well, my advice to the people of Vanoleu, at least go ahead and make use of what the government is providing. Because if you work hard, you will reap the reward. Like we are reaping very soon we'll be reaping the reward for the hard work that we've put into our farm.
41-year-old Hazrat Khatun B is a mother of 3 and runs a successful small sweets business in Korowiwi, Lambasa. Each week, she earns $600, and despite the challenges, she manages her business well. Hazrat says her husband doesn't earn a lot from her work. However, her business has helped their family. From her weekly earnings of $200, which is used to buy her ingredients for making sweets, while the $400 is saved.
We started 2009. That time my husband lost his 2 fingers, main finger, 2 fingers. And my son, he was studying FNU, Suva. And NDP gave us the grant, and that money we selling sweets, and the profit we sent to our son. He was studying there. Rent and his fees all.
Hazrat also sells vegetables in the market on Saturdays, where she earns around $400 to $600. She plans to venture into other business opportunities provided by NDP.
That grant, if they didn't give us, I don't know my son where he will be now. That money I use to him, and now he's a IT department here, Lambasa courts. Onisia Downey Mawala is a successful grog seller who has been assisted under Northern Development. She is determined that Itauques can also run businesses if they are willing to work hard and not abuse their business for personal gain.
Iyo menang unang bala bu market itu kina usangi mai rawatan abi bu yang upa kila serana kina yang itu sudah serana kina nunggu bisnis mai nangune meta pasar tungan nunggu itu sudah pasar tungan nunggu bisnis.
She buys her yangona from Sangani, Dongutuki, and Wainunu in Bua. Through this business, she was able to buy appliances and other things for her family. This businesswoman from Tunaloa sells pounded waka for $25 and $40 a kg for pure waka. She also sells waka, which ranges $35 to $45 a kg.
Iyo regen dona bibu kele be sata kabiti kona maten tu enang unungo enak ena toko ni sena buke na bisnis lalai enang unungo. Osa bakela serana nunggu bisnis yo bakata kiau na bitoko ni maten itu. And dona tikeno babi lebina kina bani.
As Nation's Business drove down the dusty roads of Bodelevu settlement in the district of Wailevu in Madhuwata, we stopped by a 45-year-old sheep farmer. Mohammed Faraz Shah was provided with a grant of $2,500 for fence, shed material, and some sheep under the Northern Development Program. This sheep farm has helped Faraz support his family. He says being a sheep farmer has always been a dream, even before sheep were brought to Vanuatu for the first time. Faraz started off with 3 sheep in 2003, but went into sheep farming in 2008, when his land lease was renewed by the landowners of Wailuku.
It was very good. So after my land expired, so I was deciding to move Suva, but with the help of NDP, I just started this business. So I have been settling here.
Since then, Firaz is still one of the most successful sheep farmers in Madhuwata. When asked about his expenses on the sheep farming business, Firaz says he spends about $500 a month on coconut meal for his sheep, medicine, and sometimes 2 or 3 laborers. Another successful recipient of NDP is Mohammed Firaz of Yalava Tambia, who owns 125 acres of land and has been farming here for the last 40 years.
On behalf of my father and my family, I would like to thank the government for assisting us, for giving us money, and because of that money we are able to do farming in a large scale.
With 40 cattle and 250 goats, the hard-working Yalava farmer is able to earn $10,000 for cattle and $5,000 for goats per year. Duruv Deo, a bee farmer in Nanduna in Lambasa, is one successful farmer assisted by NDP. Deo started his beef farm with 10 boxes. With his ongoing productivity and assistance by NDP, Duruv has successfully reached 40 boxes. In producing 1.5 ton per year, Duruv collects about $10,000.
So it was my long time interest to be a beef farmer. But I didn't have a starting point. So when this Beni Marava government came into the power, and it created lot of opportunities for the poor people to go into the small businesses. So I grabbed that opportunity. I went to the NDP department and had all kind of advice from them, and then I applied for the assistance from the NDP, and my application was approved, and I got into this business.
Through his profits from beef farming, Duruv has managed to extend his house and buy a brush cutter. Deo is encouraging everyone in the Northern Division to make use of the opportunity by NDP through government's form of assistance in helping individuals to take a step into venturing into micro-enterprise.
The salary is not my concern. If I work hard, my company gonna benefit. And when my company will benefit, then my country gonna benefit. And when my country will benefit, then my country gonna get rich. And when my country will be rich, then automatically we all will be rich. There will be no any problem. So what I want to tell our people, that we must work hard and reduce the rate of import and increase the rate of export.
Commissioner Northern says through the program, the Northern Division has begun to face immense changes and that it is time for many of its residents to embrace the change and persevere towards building a stronger Northern economy.
We would like to strengthen the platform in delivering our service, and that is integrated rural development, both at the divisional and at the provincial level, and unifying our effort and increasing the tempo and momentum in our collective effort in building a better Fiji for all.
If the people accept change, then there is no doubt to me that the aspirations and the targets of government will be achieved through the Charter, and the nation is uplifted to another level in as far as the third world to become a second, or now move to becoming a modern state as a whole.